Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Um, Let me get to my live stream on my phone so that I can see any comments that might show up. Alright, so welcome to the stream and the game and stuff. This game, Dungeon Defenders Awakened, is essentially a remaster slash reboot slash sort of sequel thing for the original Dungeon Defenders game slash series. It does sound a bit loud in my ears, like usual. Hopefully, I've lowered the volume on OBS so that you can actually hear me. Anyways, so this game is a tower defense, and I've been playing for a little while. I've been playing through the campaign on medium, got about 2/3 of the way through. So let's go to the next level, the Arcane Library. Said it's a private because I don't want anyone joining, and I don't want to accidentally join someone else's somehow, if that's a thing. I know you can intentionally join other people's sessions, but oh hey, I remember this. This was in what's it called? The Dungeon Defenders Eternity? Something with an E. Alright. So I've entered build phase. There's build phase and combat phase and whatever that like prep phase was before this. But what's it called? Eternity? I don't remember. There's been like 3 Dungeon Defenders games. So there's one little goblin that's going to come out through here and can go either of these pathways. And dang, that's not a very good choke point. Like, I could put a blockade here. Let me swap over to this dude. So I could place one here, which I most likely will do, but let me just get a good look at the land, or lay of the land, or whatever. It's only one right now. So, I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be that difficult to just take him down on my own. Only dealing with 2 crystals, but that's a lot of entry points. Because I want to just put, like, one blockade here. But if that's only going to be blocking that one spot, then that feels like a bit of a waste. But then this feels like a pretty big area to just block off with 1 or 2. So just having one here should be fine. And then maybe this is just going to be my spot to actually stop and pay attention or something. Or maybe I can just put like an attacking tower right here, just facing this way. Or like from back here if it has enough range. I don't know. We'll see. But that's just 2 entrances. This one, obviously, only the one enemy. And it can only go that way, I guess. It seems like it could also go down this way if it felt like it. This one's got 2 enemies. They're coming down this way to this crystal. Alright, so from here to defend against that, I just place one there. So that's fine. However, there's also enemies coming from these 2 directions. And this looks like a nice big room that seems like it could be difficult to defend against, but realistically, I could just put a blockade right here. And I am totally going to place one. Should I put it right here? Yeah, that should be fine. Because now I'm thinking, like, what if a bunch of, like, ranged enemies are, like, right here, and they're out of the range of the tower right in front of it. But I've got a solution for that, which I'll get back to. Alright, so then I also want one... I actually want it right here. Because I would run into the same problem that I was thinking of right there. Which actually, yeah, now that I think of it, I probably should just put it back here. So let me sell that. Just move it back a bit. It's not going to make a huge difference if the enemies get a few feet closer in terms of, like, I won't be in too much of a pickle or a bad situation, I guess. And then, yeah, let me put this one here. So actually, now that I've done that, I just realized potentially enemies will come in here, start bunching up, and then start going around to this side, which I don't think they'll do, especially not in this first round with only 2 enemies. But, you know, just in case, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I may have to move those blockades back and just defend those 3. And then we've got another situation over here where they could just walk in this way. Although this one seems a lot better defended. Like, oops, that's not what I meant to do, but that's fine. Like, yeah, I could just place a blockade, like, yeah. Kind of worried about placing it right here, but because that seems really close to where the spawner is. So that might cause some issues with one of my defenses I'm planning on putting up. All right, how much? Oh yeah, I've still got plenty of mana to place my defenses. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave this one at least for right now, just as a little opening, and then switch over to this guy. And I'm going to move it about here. So I want to get good range on that side area. Normally I would put it like right here, right behind the blockade to get as much range as I can. But because of that side area, I really want it turned so that I can hit them. And then this guy is going over here. So let me just put one right here. And again, hold on, let me change the camera angle. That doesn't help. Let me tilt it a bit, just in case. Just in case. Did I just totally mess that up? Okay, fine. Hold on. About there. Okay, so just in case they do like walk by, I'm pretty sure they would attack the tower rather than just walk by. But if they do, maybe that tower will be able to reach it. And then this one is just going to go straight forward. No reason for it to be turned. And then, like I did with the other one, right about there. That should be fine. Alright, so now I've only got 30 resources left, which means this one doesn't have a defense. But that's fine, because now I'm going to switch over to my Huntress, and I've got a grenade launcher, which is really fun. It'll blow up in a second, don't worry. There you go. So yeah, obviously this is just the first round. Hardly any enemies. That blockade is plenty sturdy. My grenade launcher is plenty strong. Like, realistically, I probably could have survived that phase without even placing any defenses. Like, just running around with my grenade launcher. Alright, so a few more enemies coming from here. That guy might be a bit of an issue. Wait, is that the... No, I think that's the Warlock. So, well, yeah, he might actually be a little bit of an issue. But that's fine, that's fine. There's nothing to worry about. More mana over here. Some kobolds. Another Warlock dude. Alright. So this one is kind of my biggest worry. So I'm going to place down this Strength Drain aura, so that anyone who gets in this radius, which is kind of a strange... Why does this look weird? No. Okay, I'm getting that circle that I'm able to place things in confused with the range of the aura. So, alright. Place this aura here, so that anyone who walks into this aura deals less damage, and also if they're immune to fire, they'll not be immune to fire. So that's great. The problem, again, is this lane right here. I'll probably put up a blockade later, once I've got all the other lanes defended. So let's get this guy right here. And sure, might as well turn it. Even though I don't think that's really going to be an issue, because I don't think they'll come down that way. I don't know. But we'll see. And then, let's see, what was this one? Can I place this here? What is causing it to be an invalid location? I think it just can't be so close to the... aha! can make it smaller. So it just can't be so close to the place where the enemies spawn from. So that could be a reason to set these back a bit. But you know what? Instead of doing that, let me just put in a lightning tower. Like right here. Because that way, it's dealing electric and fire damage, and they can't be immune to both. Great. And then I could theoretically just do the same thing everywhere, but a lightning tower is 120 mana, while the strength drain is only 60. So that's great. And let me just put this, where's that? Right here. Because I want it to reach all the way up to the blockade, so that any enemies that are walking up and actually attacking it, if they have enough health for that, aren't going to be doing as much damage to the blockade. And then it's got plenty of range around the corner in case of, you know, just people being, or enemies being difficult. And then just add the aura right here. Still got plenty of mana left over, which is great. And just do the same thing right here. All right, cool. So that's all the points taken care of. So I've got plenty of mana, like I said. Might as well put one of these here. And sure, why not? I'll put a lightning tower. Since I'm guessing that's not a lot of room for a power drain. And oh wow, that actually is pretty good. So right there. Alright. I could sort of micromanage and place some more defenses elsewhere. Probably make like a tiny... actually, you know what? Yeah. Just for the fun of it. Let me make a tiny... How small can I make it? That small? Dang. But is it... It's still an invalid location. That's interesting. So let me put it here. And then... Oh, okay. So I can make that... Psh, don't need to make it small. So it's not about the actual range of the aura. It's just about how close it's placed to the spawner. So that's good information. So I didn't even need both of these. That's fine. Alright. So let's get this started. And realistically, I don't think I need to move anywhere. I'm just going to give my my defenses a chance to shine. Since I kind of defeated a lot of enemies last time. I do kind of want to throw in an electric tower or a lightning tower because of that mage. I'll run up and deal with him in a second. I just want to take a look at it. He might walk forward more. No. Because he's immune to fire. And he's just out of range for that power drain aura. That guy's dead. Alright. So yeah, he's the thing that I'm worried about. I could obviously just walk up and destroy him. And my blockade has plenty of health. So I'll upgrade this. And I think that'll increase the range. I always like to upgrade the auras instead of repair them. At least, you know, at the beginning. Because that way I know that I want it to have more health. And upgrading it refills its health rather than just sort of spending a bunch of mana here and there. Or not a bunch of mana here and there, but a little bit of mana every so often. And then that eventually adds up to just repairing durability, I guess, that's going to go down. So let me place you. Let's see. How much range is that? It's pretty good range. Can place this here just so that any warlocks that try to get in the way and stay right out of range, that thing should be able to get it. Now, other than that, Trying to see if there's any particularly strong doors, like any ogres coming through. I think I'm good. And yeah, ogres, that's the right word. I think I was like, is it troll? Is that what it's called? Let me just raise that. Switch back to my huntress. And then I'm good. So I didn't really do very much of a good job at all of explaining this game. I did mention, of course, it was a tower defense. And I'm trying to defend those crystals with these towers. Sorry, let's see this guy. Is he gonna... Of course, he attacked the skeleton and not the, there we go, the necromancer. Alright, cool. Everything's dying like it's supposed to. You can just check the map and see how everything's going. And I am glad that I pulled that defense back a little bit at that doorway. Because if it was, like, right there, then I'd have to, like, put my offensive towers like in that room or something, and that probably wouldn't have gone well. So pretty sure it's just that entrance that's gonna get taken care of. I don't like to micromanage too much by like running up and grenading everything, grenade launching at everything. Where's the other enemies? Still 25 enemies that need to show up. It's not a bug, is it? Or is it just taking its time? Hello? That looks cool. Can't shoot in there. Okay, now they show up. Okay, not sure why they took so long. Let me just, grenade them. Still more? Okay, and they're coming out from the other sides too. Yeah, alright. So I guess that sometimes, I understand that sometimes they like delay the wave so that it gives you more time to get rid of the enemies that are already there or whatever. But then it's like, clearly I got this. My defenses are rock solid. Yeah, nothing too crazy coming out of here. This thing looks cool. I'm sure there's like lore behind it or something. Ah, I didn't think it was just gonna kill me. I figured it would just like have a little invisible wall or whatever. That's cool. I think I'll just upgrade these. Because as you can tell, I've got lots of mana. It costs 200 in order to upgrade them to their up to level 3, so second upgrade. I tend to think of it as like the first time you upgrade it, it's like upgraded to level 1. But it already starts at level 1, obviously. That makes more sense. Alright, and then... yeah, I'm not really having any trouble with anywhere, so I might as well just focus my energy there. And then, sure, why not? I'll upgrade this guy. I should be fine. There's also loot that drops, like armor and weapons and all that, like this grenade launcher. The Huntress does not normally start with a grenade launcher. Let's see. I wish I could like tell the Deadly Striker to specifically target the Necromancers. I guess I could have like moved the aim of it or like angle so that it could like only see those. And oh, would you look at that? That's an ogre. At least I'm pretty sure it's an ogre. It might be called a troll. I don't remember. I do remember there was a class called the Jester, I believe, in the original Dungeon Defenders, and it could place like little mystery boxes that would randomly spawn a turret or potentially an ogre. And I would specifically call those ogres trolls, just because I thought that was funny. So then, because I wanted to specify those were trolls and regular ones were ogres, I don't remember if they're actually just called ogres or if they're called trolls. And like maybe the things that I would call orcs, the big, heavy green guys. Like, not the one with the club, not the Cyclops, but the other one. Maybe I'll see one and point it out. But basically, I categorized it as little goblin, big orc, giant ogre, and then troll. So like those red guys would be goblins. Then there's kobolds with their explosives. Elves, or dark elf archer, I guess you could say. And then the dark elf mage, I think is what it's called, even though it's basically a necromancer. It shoots a fireball, it heals, and it summons skeletons. So pretty sure that would fall under necromancer. The healing, of course, makes me think like, okay, it's a priest or a cleric or something. But then the fireball is like, okay, that's a mage. But I don't know. I think the skeletons are their biggest, they're like most, wow, most identifiable trait. That was funny. That little animation. I don't know if that would be considered a bug or not. But doing the little wave. Okay, so yeah, those guys, if you recognize their face, it's what I would call an orc. But anyways, let's see. Can I upgrade these again? Yeah, why not? At least that one, because that one has a lot to deal with. I'm just gonna repair that, and the repair is so quick. It like sometimes it makes you think like, did I not repair it? Did something happen? Like, can't tell. But okay, 2 trolls or 2 ogres coming out of that one. And as you can see, my blockades are doing fine. They don't need any help. Let me upgrade the striker though, so it can do massive damage to the ogres. And I think I'm good actually. I'll kind of just act as the decoy for the ogres, so I don't need to build like a specific tower for that. Might as well just upgrade these a little. And I'll be over by the other area, so I don't need to upgrade those towers. Alright, cool. Do you want to just start off with an ogre? Huh? Huh? No? Okay. I like just kind of firing away from a distance and letting the grenades bounce over, and not quite a chain reaction, but almost like a chain reaction. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say there is loot, like, you know, swords and armor and helmet. That's a helmet? It looks like a chess piece. Huh. But so there is that, and I could increase my defenses, which is obviously the main purpose of armor. And what? Core under attack? How did he slip by? What the heck? Oh, because they're ignoring my blockade. Or at least they're like crowding around it. Alright, so I need to get them a little over here into the range of the deadly striker. Because, oh wow, jeez. In case you can't tell, I'm a bit of a glass cannon. So that's why they're able to destroy me so quickly. Still not sure how that goblin just waltzed on by. I'm like, yeah, there's this path that they can follow, but they normally like target the defenses. They don't normally just walk right by them. So that's cool. Oh, but I was gonna say, keep getting distracted with all the loot. I'm not really picking any of it up because I'm still kind of going through the early game, leveling up, and I'm gonna be cycling through new loot so frequently that I don't want to spend the time to pick it all up and then look through what I want and don't want and then swap it out like every 2 levels or something. Of course, because I haven't picked up any of the loot, I don't know exactly how accurate that assessment is of how that's going to work. But that's just kind of how I assumed the loot would work because it's how it worked before. And I'm clearly doing fine even without the loot. And this guy, the Dark Elf Warrior, he's of course a little frustrating because he'll generally ignore the defenses and just go straight for you. And oh, would you look at that? I can level up. Alright, so I'm putting all of my points into the Rune of Attack to increase the damage that my hero does with their melee and ranged attacks. Also increases the damage of certain abilities. So that's all I'm putting the points into for my Huntress. And then for this guy, I'm putting pretty much an even split between the range and fortitude so that his auras can affect a great area of effect and then also have the health to sustain that effect. I'm not really worried about the power or the defense rate because I'm really just using him to place those power drain auras and occasionally like the enrage aura so that enemies inside have a chance to attack each other. But that's kind of just more for fun rather than as a specific part of my strategy. So he doesn't really need to have a particular strength because he's just taking away their immunity to the fire and or electric. So yeah, he doesn't really need to worry about strength. This guy though, he is all about damage, all about DPS. So I could focus like exclusively on the Rune of Power and do a bunch of damage, but then I also need the range so that he can, because his towers are now a glass cannon more or less. Obviously the power drain aura helps, and the blockades obviously take a brunt of the damage, or take the brunt of the damage, I guess. But still, I want to have that range to increase how many enemies he can affect, basically. And then the defense rate in order to increase the rate he attacks, obviously. So yeah, these three. It's not quite as efficient as like focusing on just two, but better than also doing Fortify. And then last is my Squire, who I'm putting all of the points into Fortify because he is just the blockade. He is just the walls. Like, that's all I'm building with him. So these blockades are incredibly tanky, and I don't even need to upgrade them to help them survive through everything. So yeah, that's Dungeon Defenders. Obviously, there's a lot more levels, and you can increase the difficulty of things. And I could look for like a sword or some armor that potentially has the stat for my defense fortitude. Not vitality, not power. Yeah, fortify. That's what it's called. Oh, but that's a crossbow. Of course it is. So you see the troubles. I don't want any of these. I don't care about vitality on the Squire. Can I? Any loot? Yeah, no? Okay. So yeah, that's basically it. I can go to the map summary. It was fun. It wasn't very difficult. Well, I'll raise up the difficulty a little bit because it wasn't super easy. Gameplay was normal. Loot was normal. So yeah, 26 minutes because I was stopping to talk and stuff. But what was I going to say? I recommend you guys get this game. It's on early access. It's doing pretty good so far. But I'm just going to go back to the tavern. Yeah. If you want to see more of this game on my channel, feel free to let me know. There's the 8 other maps I already did and 3 more that I still have yet to do. And I'm sure they'll add more eventually. I can play it on the harder difficulty, the Nightmare or Super Nightmare or whatever. Could I? Oh, no, yeah, they're locked. Okay. So I'm guessing you have to beat them on Insane, and then it'll let me go to Nightmare and Super Nightmare or something. There's also Survival, where it'll just like keep sending waves at me until I lose, I guess. And all this other stuff is not available. I can see other people's games. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.